He was hosting the king. I don't know whether there's the king or the prime minister of Finland. That he has stopped abductions.
Yeah.
So it is obvious that this is a strategy that has been used. And sometimes we listen to people speak, and we wonder whether have they buried their heads in the sand? Because unless Honorable Murugara here lives in a different country, we know very well that it has been clear that even the investigations he's talking about, even today, we have never known what happened during Gen Z Maandamanos. The government has never come out clean. We had to wait for a BBC documentary to tell us that there were lives lost, there was command, there was police involved, there was military involved. And let me say, it is actually something that we need to work on as a country. Penal Code is very clear under Article 257 and 259 that you are liable for an offense and for jail if you are involved in anything to do with abduction. We are dealing with a rogue government that has decided to actually go after its critic through extrajudicial ways. And that is something that we have to stop. Okay. And the JLAC chairman must lead from the front.
Manyata Member of Parliament Gitonga Mukunji has intensified his criticism of the Kenya Kwanza government handling of law enforcement, particularly concerning police brutality and extrajudicial action. In a recent interview on Citizen TV Daybreak, Mukunji condemned the use of excessive force during arrest and the targeting of government critics through unlawful means. Mukunji concerns are echoed by the recent finding from the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights KNCHR, which reported that over 1,370 arbitrants arrested and 74 enforced disappearance between June and November 2024. The commission warned that such actions are reminiscent of the country's past oppressive regime. Despite these directives, IPOA has faced challenges in holding officers accountable. The authority reported obstruction from police officers and lack of cooperation from the Office of the Directorate of Public Prosecution, hindering efforts to prosecute those responsible for the abuse. Mukunji has called for the government to take responsibility of the action of its security forces and to provide compensation to families affected by police brutality. He emphasized the need for transparency and accountability to restore public trust in law enforcement agencies.
I feel very sad for Honorable Koimbori on what he has gone through. And it is obvious that we have a challenge in this country when it comes to matters to do with our police force and law enforcement. I want to say I have experienced abduction myself. And when the president was passing through Embu town, while I was going to attend the meeting, I was abducted and I was released after around an hour. And I was very traumatized. And maybe many people I told that story, including my good colleagues, did not believe that happened. But of course, they told me they are not going to harm me. They did not touch me, they only took my phone. At the end of the day, I feel sad when we trash such issues until something happens that is drastic. The other day we just lost our colleague, Honorable Ere.
Right.
And from what I hear, he had complained a number of times that his life is in danger. But most likely you find many people did not take it serious. Some, I have been on the street of Embu to fight to get one of the son of Embu called Billy Mwangi,
right,
who was taken by police, people with hoodies, and he got lost for 14 days until he was dropped off. Mm-hmm. And the history and stories around many people who are concerned on this were trying to put an allegation that he abducted himself or he is in some girlfriend's house. And this is actually a trend which is coming out now, that these things are happening and then people are actually trashing them and trying to put a political narrative into it. I think Article 25A of our Constitution is very clear. Mm. That you are not supposed to be subjected to torture, cruel treatment, or any inhumane, degrading way, right, as a human being. Mm. It is also very clear that Article 50 clearly indicates matters to do with how you are supposed to be given a chance in terms of when you are being arrested. You're supposed to be told you are being arrested for this and this. Mm-hmm. And this now is actually something that it should be alarming in this country, where even people with the stature of members of parliament are not safe anymore. And this is coming out in a way that it looks like it is a way to suppress voices that are really critic, right, of the regime today. I will not fear to say.
You think that's what's happening to Koimburi?
Absolutely, yes. And he has been out many a times against this regime. Mm. I believe we go back to even Billy Mwangi's and the few people that have been abducted. We find a trend that they kind of express some dissatisfaction with something. Mm. And let me say this to tell my good friend, Honorable Muragara. Why is it that after information came out on Sunday that Koimburi was abducted by a Subaru somewhere in church, when he was leaving church, mm-hmm, the government said nothing? But when he was found, is the time the government is saying that we even wanted, yes, to arrest him. And the reason why he's doing something like they're trying to trash this is because it's some shenanigans around avoiding arrest. Why is it that you have got to come to people, mm-hmm, and do some gymnastics on them instead of actually summoning them directly? Right. We saw the case of Natembea, where somebody we can see clearly they want to arrest him, but instead of giving a letter that we summon you to appear at this police station or at DCI, you go and create drama, mm-hmm, and you bring all these forces, you abduct in a way that you want somebody to feel intimidated. It is a trend that we can clearly see, and it's one that I condemn. I want to say this. Yeah. I felt sad to listen to Honorable Murkomen, who is the CS for Interior, and I feel he is wrongly positioned there. Because for the last number of incidences, he has responded in a way that he doesn't look fit to be the CS Interior. Just the other day when there was a launch of the party, and there was some confrontation, some people wanted to infiltrate the launch of the party, TCP party, the statement by the CS Interior is even before investigation was that there were goons that were not paid, and they were asking for their money. I mean, let's be serious with the investigations. Okay. Up to date, yeah, BBC gave a documentary, clearly indicating that there were police officers that were involved and gave command to shooting. But then, even today, we have not had any investigation around that issue. We have a problem.